Welcome, Heart and Soul Homestead family. Today we're going to talk about how we're going off grid with two children on the spectrum.
And so first we wanted to say, we'll address why we decided to take our time posting this video. We've been talking about it for a while, but it's one thing us being on camera, it's another putting our children on camera, and so we wanted to take our time with it. We wanted to take time talking to them and getting a feel for how they feel about being on camera or their lives being talked about and all that. And after addressing all that, we just wanted to, allow the space for us to be comfortable and feel confident and all that. And so let's just dive into it.
Okay, well, for me, my personal thoughts are is that by going off grid, we would give them the freedom to express themselves. And what that means is, for example, my son Jalen, he loves nature, he loves wildlife, creatures, even the ones that you would hesitate to go deal with. But he's fearless, he loves that. And so having property in the desert, having that much room, right, would definitely be like a big playground for him. And so that's one reason why. For Annalisa, our daughter, it would be more so for her artistic side. And and we're not just talking like drawing on paper. This girl makes things, creates things, arts and crafts. If there's mud or something, or build something, like she's into everything. And so for her to have space and have all that stuff available to her that we would provide, it would just be an endless ongoing project and art being built and stuff being created, which fills her and really helps her out with what she got going on. And so that is one of the reasons why I think it's gonna work out. The other thing is like instilling hard work into them and creating a structure for them. Having livestock and other animals and things to do, chores to take care of daily. Not that they don't have them here, but out there it's just gonna be different. Like there's no missing that meal for these animals. There's no doing this, there's no doing that. You gotta get that done. And so structure for them is key, like repetition and times, and this has to be done in this moment. And we're aware that things are gonna happen and things are gonna come up, but for the most part, it's gonna be a well-structured situation where they're just gonna thrive and kind of know what's coming, and there's an expectation, and they're gonna meet it. So that's another big reason why.
And to kind of piggyback off of that, the hard work, it's important for us that our children, because they're on the spectrum, the importance of them being able to take care of themselves and us feeling confident that they're able to do that at the best of their ability and what that looks like. And so us moving off grid and being able to have that quality time with them where we can be side by side teaching them these skills and the hard work it takes to get things done daily, I think it's the best environment for that. So another reason why we are deciding to go off grid is because for the average person, being in an urban setting is actually detrimental to our nervous system. And, all the man-made noises, the distractions, and the intrusive lighting, all that, it's taxing on the brain. And it actually takes more work for our brain to kind of like synthesize all that information. And so imagine for someone on the spectrum how difficult daily life could be. And so it's important to me, though my children haven't verbalized, other than being in crowded settings, that things are unbearable. As a mom, I just want to make sure that I am loving on my kids the way they need to be loved. And if I can make life easier for them, I will. And so, another reason would be the health portion of it. We want to grow our own food, know where it's coming from, what's in it. And our kids love fruit. Like, they love fruit. And if they could just eat that all day, they would. And so why not grow our own food forests? You know what I mean? Because going to Sprouts is expensive. What's the next thing you want to get into?
Well, we are gonna go into the how.
Oh wait, I have notes, and so I also put on here like the sights and sounds of nature are easier for our brains to process, and so being like immersed in nature full time, it also lowers your stress levels, and that's not just for them, that's for us too. And so yeah.
No, that's all good. And not only do the kids need that, we need that. Like, I need that. That sounds good. In addition to that, we're gonna talk about like what that looks like, how, like what things are we gonna put in place, what infrastructures, so that it helps and aids them in particular, which kind of like just naturally is something that we have to do no matter what, which is like even more of a reason why we're gonna go there. And for example, first it's gonna be fencing. With our son Jalen, when he was younger, he loped a lot, and his fearlessness that he still has now, and his sometimes inability to be aware of his surroundings and danger in particular, cars passing by, this, that, and that, he would just jump out the car and dart into the street, like no fear, just having a ball. And so we had to like learn how to work around that and figure that out, and learn that no, he's not allowed to do this. We got to put locks here. We got to do that. We got to do, all these extra things to ensure that his safety was good. And
hold on. My husband used the word elope, and not everybody knows what eloping means. But elopement is when a child takes off and runs away, and even when you call their name, they don't stop, just keep going.
Right. And some of them think it's a game, especially if you chase after them. At first, I didn't really understand, but then once we got diagnosed, I was like, okay, you have to handle it in a different way so that they think you're playing tag, but it's not at all the case. So appreciate. The other thing is with our daughter, she can get easily distracted and start with one thing and then end up doing something else, or try to do multiple things at the same time, end up tripping or knocking something over.
Not aware of her
surroundings at times. And so, with that being said, we're also that whole fencing and putting things in place is going to be helpful as well. And also setting up spaces for them to be and to do and to go about as they please is going to be a big help for them as well.
To go along with that, also, like even before we get out there, we think it's useful watching videos with our kids, National Geographic or whatever, what predators are in, the Arizona desert, and what to be on the lookout for, and all that. I would definitely love, once we get out there, if there is like somebody that is well versed in rattlesnakes, scorpions, all that, could come and give the kids a lesson, that'd be great.
Right, yeah. We're gonna do our due diligence too, and then reach out to the homestead community, and we're not the only ones with kids out there.
Right.
And possibly not the only ones with kids on the spectrum out there. So we're definitely gonna, advocate to the best of our ability to provide any help or anything that's gonna aid their growth and their process in this whole homesteading journey.
So one day I went to my husband and I was just like, it'd be all exciting and stuff to redecorate the new place because I love doing that type of stuff. But I don't think I am. And he asked me why, and I was like, because I think for Jalen, if we were to keep our decor and transition that into the new home, it'd be more comfortable for him. Mm-hmm. It would feel homey, familiar, and just help with that transition, because transitions have been hard for him. Like with school transitions, when he changes from one classroom to the other, or anything like that, it kind of throws him off. He's very used to routine, and that's how he thrives. And so I just was trying to think of ways for this move to be a little smoother for our kids, and so I thought that would be one way for it to be easier. And so, is there anything else that we need to address? No, I think that's everything.
Yeah. Well, we said that we were going to say that anybody that's not familiar with children on the spectrum.
Yes. If anything that we've shared has sparked a question in your mind, or you're just interested in hearing more, please feel free to leave a comment below or reach us by email.
This is newer to us, yes, those are our children, but we're also continually learning and exploring different ways of helping and growing with them, along with them. So another thing that we're gonna do outside of fencing and borders and all that, security cameras, which we will have throughout the homestead.
Even inside. Here at our house now, we have cameras inside so that we're able to keep an eye out on Jalen more so than Annalisa. And so, that is going to be a priority aside from fencing.
Right. It does help that we're obviously downsizing, so it's less as far as an inside the home to look, which will be easier for us. But we do got a good amount of acreage, so we're gonna have them everywhere. On top of that, we will have guard dogs too. So we will have guard dogs around that the kids are very familiar with and that they do well with. So that's another thing that we're gonna have in place to kind of monitor, and not in a bad way. It's just kind of like take note of ongoing things or things that could be a possible issue, and then that way we can address it accordingly.
Right. Some other ideas that we've come up with regarding structures and whatnot, plans for the homestead. Surrounding the house, we want a wraparound deck that is enclosed. So that's another kind of, I don't want to call it, it's just another layer of protection for the kids. And though, they're both old enough to navigate entrances and exits and all that, but we find that having more slows them down.
Right.
And so even so our doors would have bells on them as well, so that we're able to hear them open and close and be like, okay, we just need to be on alert. Somebody came outside or somebody's coming back inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
Things like that we have taken into consideration as well.
So we got this an extra lock up here. It's simple but efficient. Used to be down here, but our son has gotten older and he can jump now even higher. So he was able to knock this one down. He can still kind of get to this one, but he's a lot better with listening and kind of staying in this space. But it still is a preventative measure that we take, and it works.
Before you get to that, so our son doesn't attempt to elope out of the house anymore.
Yeah.
That's no longer a behavior that we are concerned about. There are moments though, when we're outside where it's very reminiscent of when he did elope, and so we always like to stay on our P's and Q's. Because there are these seasons that he goes through. It's usually typically around a growth spurt and when he's about to like make all this progress in a certain area where he regresses just a bit. And so we keep these things going even though he doesn't actually utilize them right now. Go ahead, babe.
In addition to that, we got a security system that notifies us through the app, and it'll actually chime loud enough so that we can hear it when this door is open or left open for too long, along with the back door, sliding doors, side door, garage door, and the door into the garage from the inside, which is also has this lock here. And then the side gate on the side of the house has a gate,
a lock,
and a lock with a key to it, so that he definitely not getting a hold of that, because we're the ones with the only copy. And then we got another camera up here in the back, kind of heading towards the door, for him to kind of monitor them as they're in here in case we're not in here at the moment. And,
meaning like in the garage or in some area of the house, not here.
Yeah, doing laundry, or I ran into the back real quick to deal with the dogs or something, and he happened to run out his room. So we're just well aware, try to be at least. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you again for all your support with all our heart and soul.
We love you.
Love you.